Bonjour and welcome back to your Journey to France, the podcast where I guide you through every step of making France not just your dream destination, but your real home. I'm Pierre Guillery, and today we're diving into one of the most important and sometimes intimidating parts of buying property here or anywhere else, for that matter, negotiation. If you've ever wondered, can I really negotiate the price of a house in France? The answer is a resounding yes. And it's not only about the price, almost everything, from the moving date to the furniture, can be part of the negotiation if you understand how the process works. To give you some perspective, I'll be borrowing a few timeless insights from Herb Cohen's classic book, You Can Negotiate Anything, and we'll see how his ideas fit beautifully into the French property market. Cohen's central belief is simple. Everything is negotiable. And that's true here in France as well. Sellers almost always expect negotiation. The asking price, le prix affiché, is usually more of an opening statement than a final demand. That said, negotiation in France has a particular rhythm. It's polite, often understated, and usually logical. Coming in too aggressively can put a seller off. Instead, you succeed with reason, timing, and knowledge, which brings us to Cohen's three golden variables: power, time, and information. Power in negotiation isn't about who has the most money. It's about perception. In French property, your power often comes from your position as a buyer. If you're well prepared with your financing secured, you have real leverage. Sellers and agents respect buyers who can act quickly. But here's an important cultural nuance. If you gush too much about how perfect the house is, you weaken your hand. In France, agents and owners are watching closely. If they sense you're emotionally hooked, they'll be less flexible. So, admire the view, yeah, but keep a poker face. Time is the second great factor. Whoever controls the clock controls the deal. Let me share a quick story. One of my clients fell in love with a small farmhouse outside Uzès. The owners were an elderly couple who had already reserved an apartment in central Montpellier. They were under pressure to close fast. We used that time pressure to our advantage, and my clients secured the property for 12% below asking price, saving over 40,000 euros. On the other hand, I've also seen sellers who weren't in any rush at all. They prefer to wait years for what they think is their price. In those cases, patience pays less, and sometimes the best move is simply to walk away. And then there's information. That's the most powerful tool. The more you know, the stronger your hand. In France, buyers have access to resources like the DVF database of past sales, which lets you compare asking prices to real closed transactions. It's a reality check because sometimes sellers base their price on sentiment. This was my grandfather's vineyard, so it's worth a fortune. Well, another key point is uncovering the seller's motivation. Are they divorcing, downsizing, moving abroad? Every reason tells you something about how flexible they might be. Here's another example. A Parisian family was selling a home near the Cevennes mountain ranges north of Nîmes. We discovered they hadn't visited the place in 2 years and were simply tired of paying taxes on it. With that knowledge, we offered 15% below the asking price straight away, and the sellers accepted right away. Why? Because their real priority wasn't maximizing the price. It was getting rid of the place, cutting their losses, and moving on. Now, what practical tactics work best in France? Well, start lower. Offering 5 to 10% under asking is very normal. More if the property's been in the market for years, like 20 or 25% down. That's doable. Never accept the first counteroffer. It's part of the dance. 2 or 3 rounds are expected. trade. Don't just give. If you raise your offer, ask for something in return, like repairs, included furniture, or an earlier closing. And finally, use silence. After making your offer, let the silence sit. The French are masters of the pause, and it often works to your benefit. Above all, keep the right mindset. Negotiation here is not a battle. It's more like a conversation, sometimes even a ritual. Sellers want to feel respected. If you remain calm, polite, patient, you'll often secure better terms than someone barging in aggressively. And don't forget, negotiation is about more than money. You can discuss timing for the compromis de vente, the move-out date, or which fixtures and fittings stay. I've had clients walk away not only with a lower price, but also with a fully furnished kitchen, antique wardrobes, all the gardening equipment, or even a wine cellar stocked for the first year in France. These extras can represent thousands of euros in hidden value. So always ask the question, what else can we include? So what's the takeaway? Well, when buying property in France, you can negotiate on price, on terms, on timing, even on furniture. Your leverage comes from the three things: power, time, and information. With the right mix of patience, curiosity, and calm confidence, you'll not only save money, but also feel in control of the process. And remember, negotiation isn't about manipulation, it's about participation. It's about shaping the outcome so that both sides can move forward satisfied. Win-win, they say. So, that's it for today's episode of Your Journey to France. If you're considering a property search or want support negotiating with French sellers or agents, feel free to reach out. I'd love to help you on that journey. Well, that's what I've been doing for the last 15 years. Anyway, until then, until next time, à bientôt, and happy house hunting.
This video has been brought to you by the French Property Coach. If you're wondering what the name means, it's simple. We help English speakers deal with real estate in France. Whether you're looking to buy or sell a house in France, get help. If you have a difficulty with an estate agent or a notaire, get help. If you're looking to file for planning permission and are frightened about the paperwork in French, get help. If you want to make absolutely sure that nothing gets lost in translation, well, get help. It is that simple. If you're looking for customized assistance for your own French property project, whatever the project, don't hesitate to reach out. We can have a phone or Zoom conversation, you don't have to commit to anything, and the talk is free really. So what do you think? Give it a try.